throughout different stages of menopause, we might experience those sensations, those feelings in our body as if even the smallest thing is something that we just can't cope with. And when we come to that point, our senses are all heightened. Our sense of touch, sense of taste, sense of smell, everything is much more heightened than usual. And therefore we just need to calm the body down. And we're going to do that through some yoga poses today that just help us to ground through the body, help us to calm the mind as well as the body, activating through the parasympathetic nervous system and just taking it nice and slowly. So you will need ideally a bolster or a couple of thick pillows, or maybe even the cushion off your settee, something like that's quite sturdy. A couple of yoga blocks and a blanket ideally, so you've got something to put over you at the end should you wish to do so. So we're going to get started with a little, on a strap, apologies, you need a strap as well. We're going to get started with a little bit of breath work. So we're going to start by placing our strap around the back of the body and placing it at about the level that the bottom of your bra would be, or just underneath the chest, not up in the armpit, that's too high. Want it to kind of be at the top of the ribs, I guess. Make sure it's not twisted, and then maybe just twist or shorten the strap a little bit using the hands, just so you've not got too much to hold on to. And then you're going to make sure your arms are at right angles, so they're not out straight or they're not up. We want to make sure that they're out at right angles. Gripping the strap, not too firmly, but firmly enough so you can feel it around the back of the body. And then we're going to start to draw our attention inwards. So draw the shoulders down the back of the body, relaxing through the jaw, sitting up nice and tall. So really feel your spine long. You can sit however you wish. Crown of the head's coming up towards the ceiling, and we're just going to bring our attention to our breath. So start to draw some breath in through the nose. And to begin with, let's just take 2 or 3 inhales and exhales. And as we exhale, take it through the mouth. Just soften the breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Take one more. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And now starting to bring your attention to the strap as you inhale and exhale. So as you inhale through the nose, perhaps feel the strap move around the sides of the body, around the back of the body. As you draw that breath in, the ribs expand, the belly expands, the strap may move. As you exhale, just notice everything soften and flatten. Inhale through the nose. Notice where you feel that breath. Where's your strap moving? Exhale, release. Inhale through the nose. Notice the strap. Exhale through the nose. With each inhale, see if you can make yourself a little bit taller. And with each exhale, just soften the shoulders down. So inhale, draw your attention to the back of the body as the ribs expand. Exhale through the nose. Inhale last time. Exhale. Just release the hands slightly back into the lap. Just settle the shoulders away from the ears. And just notice how you're feeling now. Are you feeling any calmer? Do you feel any more grounded? And if you want to, you can always carry on with that breath, with or without the strap, just for a few more rounds, by pausing the video and then restarting it when you're ready. So allow your breath to settle. And then we're slowly going to open the eyes if they're closed. Move the strap away from us, placing it just to one side. We're going to come to find child's pose. And you will need a block here. We're going to place our head onto a block, because placing a little bit of pressure through the forehead really helps just to activate through the parasympathetic nervous system and tell your body that you're safe, that all is well. So we're going to come back to child's pose. You can have your knees wide or narrow, choice is yours. Bring the block down closer to you, hips back towards the heels, place the forehead gently down onto your block and place the arms by the side of you. So just placing gentle pressure through the forehead, releasing through the shoulders. Inhale and exhale here through the nose. Allow your body to just soften and settle. Allow your mind to calm. Take one more breath here. And exhale. Slowly bring the arms forwards. We're going to come to extended child's pose. So maybe just move that block to one side. Or you might want to keep the blocks in front of you and reach the fingers, the arms a bit further, creating more space down the back of the body in your child's pose. That's also completely fine and a really lovely option actually. So if that suits you, then keep the blocks. You can take the legs wide or you can leave them narrow. Entirely up to you. Just come back to the breath. Sinking the hips down towards the heels. Inhale here. Exhale. Slowly coming forwards. Now you may wish to keep the blocks here. I'm going to be stepping one foot through to come to low lunge. So you're going to keep your blocks on either side if you want to use them. I'm going to step the right foot to the top of the mat, keeping the blocks there, creating space, or you might have your hands on the mat, that's absolutely fine. Draw the shoulders away from the ears to create that length down the back of the body. Take a nice deep breath here. As you inhale, we're going to straighten through that front leg, perhaps bring the blocks back with you to create that space still down the back of the body. Flex the foot. Breathe, feel the hamstring stretch. Exhale, come back to the top of the mat. You can keep the bricks nice and high if that suits you better. It's quite nice to have that space. Take a breath. Inhale, push back. Press the heel away from you. Lean forwards very slightly, but only slightly. Once more we come forwards, find that space. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, last time. Come back to your half splits. Feel the hamstring stretch. Push the heel into the floor. Keep the shoulders drawn away from the ears. Exhale, come forwards. Replace the blocks on either side. Draw that right foot all the way back to join the left. Push yourself back for a breath. Stretch through the upper body. Bring yourself all the way back up to all fours. We're going to repeat that on the other side. So you're going to bring your left foot to the top of the mat. Create space down the back of the body. Press into the ground through the front foot. Shoulders drawn away from the ears. Breathe. Really feel grounded through your feet. Grounded through that back leg. As you inhale, straighten through that front leg. Press the heel away from you. Perhaps just lean forwards very slightly, but keep those shoulders drawn away. Exhale, come back to your low lunge. 2 more. Inhale. Straighten the front leg, press the heel down. Use the blocks for support and to lift the floor up for you. Inhale. Come forwards. Breathe. Come back to your half splits. Press the heel into the floor. Feel that stretch down the back of the legs. Exhale, we come forwards. Breathe. Slowly release the blocks to the floor. Bring the hands down and draw that knee all the way back. That's my ankle that just clicked. Come back to your child's pose. And then we're going to take a deep inhale here. We're going to exhale, draw the belly up, round through the back of the body. Inhale, you're slowly going to come forwards to a cobra, dropping the hips. Exhale, push back to child's pose. Take an inhale. Exhale, draw the belly up, round through the spine, bring yourself all the way forwards to cobra. So inhale. Exhale, push back. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, round through the spine, feel grounded through the fingers, through the toes. Inhale, lower the hips towards the floor. Exhale, push back to child's pose. And we're going to slowly walk the hands back towards us. We're going to come onto to a crouch. So you're going to come onto your tiptoes, and we're slowly going to lower the heels to the floor to come to a forward fold. Now, if you suffer with osteoporosis or osteopenia, obviously don't come to a full forward fold, just come to a half lift so that your spine is nice and long. We don't want to be folding all the way down. And then we're all going to come up with a flat back. So let's just inhale, keep the spine nice and long, come all the way up to standing. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Oh, roll the shoulders a couple of times. So we're going to make our way to tree pose. So keep the feet about hip distance apart, not too wide because you're going to be lifting one foot off the floor. But in this instance, this pose is all about the balance. It's not about the height of your foot. So please don't worry if your foot is on the floor or it's at your ankle. That's not important. It's about the balance and the focus of your mind and your breath, not about how high your foot lifts off the floor. So we're going to start by balancing into our left foot. So we're going to really ground through that left foot, really press into the floor, engage through those muscles, create strength down the left-hand side of your body. And then we're slowly going to start to bring the right foot to wherever's comfortable for you. So you might want to place it on your shin, you might want to place it on your thigh, wherever's comfortable for you. Bringing the hands through to the heart center. Take a few nice deep inhales and exhales here, feeling really grounded in your tree pose. Find something for your gaze, for your drishti, something that helps you to stay as balanced as you can. But if you wobble and if the foot goes down, that's totally fine. Just reset yourself, come back to your tree, and then slowly lower the arms, slowly lower the foot, give yourself a little bit of a shake, and we come back to the other side. So now your right foot's going to be your grounding leg, so make that side of the body nice and strong. Press into the floor through the foot. Start to take the weight out of the left foot. Bring the sole of the foot to the shin. Bring it all to the thigh, wherever's comfortable for you, or you can keep the toes on the floor and just bring the heel to the ankle of the right foot. That's still a balance, and you can decide whether you want to lift it a bit later on. Bring the hands through to heart center, lifting the foot to wherever's comfortable for you, finding something for your gaze, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Feeling truly grounded through that foot, really pressing into the floor. Really can't balance on this side today. Find your balance. Oh, she says. Breathe. Slowly, slowly start to release that foot to the ground. Release the arms, roll through the shoulders. So from here, we're going to come to the top of our mat. And we're going to start to roll down. So again, if you have osteoporosis or osteopenia, just make sure you have a nice straight spine so we're not rolling or rounding through the spine. So we're going to take a nice deep inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, we're going to come down. Keeping the spine nice and long if that's better for you. We're then going to come to downward facing dog. So we're going to bring the hands down to the floor. We're going to step back. I'm going to put our knees down just for a moment because I'm going to suggest that we actually use a prop here for our downward facing dog. So if you've got a bolster or a nice big cushion or a couple of cushions at home, this is a really nice idea. I'm going to place it lengthways actually so I've got room for my hands. I'm then going to place a couple of bricks or a book, a couple of books maybe on there. Place my hands, spread my fingers. where I would normally have them for downward facing dog. Draw my shoulders away from my ears, lift the hips, come to find my downward facing dog, and I'm then going to place my forehead onto the support I've placed on my mat. So again, we're just pressing into the top of the forehead, the crown of the head, just to create that slight bit of pressure, which is really good for our nervous system. Breathe. Inhale and exhale. Finding that space. One more breath. And we're slowly going to lower the knees to the floor. We're going to come to find supported child's pose. So we're going to keep our bolster or our cushions exactly where they are. You're going to prop up one end of your bolster. You might need more propping up depending on your body and whether it's comfortable or not for you as it is. So you're going to prop it up nicely. You're then going to get a blanket, which I have forgotten to get, so I'm just going to get my blanket. You're going to place your legs nice and wide, bring the big toes to touch, and you're going to draw yourself down onto your bolster. So this becomes your child's pose, which is actually a really lovely pose on its own. Just feeling secure, feeling supported, feeling grounded into the earth. You can change sides with the head during the time you're here if you wish. So we're just going to be here for a few minutes. Or you can be here as long as you like, actually, as long as it's comfortable. You're then going to get your blanket and we're going to place it around the back of the body. So place it on your shoulders, just so it's almost like a shawl, I guess. Placing it over you, so you feel nice and warm. And again, there's just that bit of extra weight which just makes us feel really secure and safe. And then if you want to, you can then bring your blanket all the way over your head, which is lovely in terms of just shutting off from the world a little bit. Call it a little cocoon. So if you bring the blanket over the back of the body, and then you can lift it all the way over your head and just shut off from the world for 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes even. And it's a really lovely way of just escaping from all of the sensory overload that sometimes we feel, from the anxiety, from feeling overwhelmed. So feel free to stay here for as long as you want to in your child's pose. Feeling supported, feeling grounded into the earth. Inhaling and exhaling, just relaxing the body. Stay here for anywhere up to 15 minutes if that feels really good. So perhaps you might like to pause the video and stay in your child's pose for a little while longer. And then slowly pressing through the hands, bring yourself up, obviously remove the blanket. Slowly coming back up to a seated position, in whatever way is comfortable for you. Just coming back to the breath, just sit up nice and tall. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Noticing how you're feeling. Any thoughts in your mind. Just taking a couple of moments before you start to move or get on with your day. Just continue to feel grounded. And you can use these postures, these techniques at any time when you perhaps feel a bit overwhelmed or anxious, or as if the day is just getting too much. Just come back to that lovely restorative child's pose and just shut the world out for 10 minutes. And see how you feel after your 10 minutes of being in your little cocoon in your child's pose. So I hope you enjoyed that practice. Namaste.